Welcome back to the Think Strong Network. Did you know that the way you act isn't actually, well, you? I know it sounds a little strange, but we're about to dive into this really powerful idea that your behavior is just a message, not some permanent label that defines who you are. Let's get into it.
I just love this way of thinking about it. Seriously, a movie trailer never shows you the entire film, right? It just gives you a little sneak peek. And that's exactly what your behavior does. It's a preview of the much bigger, way more complex story that's happening on the inside. Every single reaction, every habit you have, it all comes from somewhere.
And yet, here's the big lie so many of us fall for, especially when we're in high school. We mess up, we react in a way we're not proud of, and that little voice in our head goes, "See, that's just who you are." Well, in this explainer, we are going to totally take that idea apart.
Okay, so let's break this down. Why do we even fall for this lie in the first place? It really boils down to the insane amount of pressure we're all under, and how the world around us tends to misunderstand what's really driving us.
Just think about your average day. You feel something really big inside, but it comes out kind of messy, and boom, you get judged for it. People slap labels on you like lazy or disruptive, instead of actually asking what's up. You keep things bottled up until they just explode. You're trying to fit in, to survive socially, and all that stuff shapes your actions. The world sees what you do, but it almost never stops to ask why you do it.
So how do we actually prove this isn't just a nice idea? We're going to look at some hard data. The numbers tell a completely different story about what's really going on with our behavior, and it's probably not what you think.
Okay, look at this number. Over 80%, 80 of conflict involving teens comes from an emotional reaction, not from someone actually trying to be a jerk or cause harm. That's huge. It proves that most of the time, we're just reacting way faster than we can think. It's not about having bad intentions, it's about having an untrained emotional response.
And here's where it gets really hopeful. Check this out. Did you know that teens who just take a little time to understand what triggers their behavior can cut down on those emotional outbursts by up to 60%? This tells us something absolutely crucial. Self-awareness is so much more powerful than any punishment or shame could ever be. This right here, this is so important to get. That behavior that you get called out for, a lot of the time, it's really just a coping strategy. It's your brain's best attempt to survive a moment you don't have the words or the tools for yet. It is not a flaw in your character, it's a signal. That's it. A signal that something deeper needs a little attention. So, if your behavior isn't who you are, then what is it? Well, it's a message. It's a clue. It's your mindset basically shouting a signal out loud. And once you learn to listen to those clues, oh man, everything starts to change. This chart just says it all, doesn't it? Look at the labels on the left, the ones that get thrown around so easily: defiant, lazy, disruptive. Now look at the real story on the right. Defiant is so often just feeling pressured. Lazy? That's almost always code for overwhelmed. And that attitude problem, it's usually just a cover for feeling insecure. Okay, be honest with yourself for a second. Do any of these hit home? That feeling of, ugh, I didn't mean to react like that. Or, I get angry so fast and I have no idea why. Or maybe this one, I'm always joking around to hide how I actually feel. These aren't just random thoughts. They're the proof that your behavior is just a signal, not the whole story. So what's the move here? What's the alternative to just feeling ashamed all the time? It's adopting what we call the champion mindset. It's a whole new framework for looking at your behavior like a detective looks at a clue. It helps you shift from feeling shame to building a real strategy for growth. This is the key. Your behavior is what everyone sees and hears. It's loud. But your mindset, that's the quiet, unseen root cause of everything. People will always judge the loud part, but champions know the real power isn't in silencing the noise. It's in understanding the quiet part, the mindset that's making it happen. And here's the playbook. It's a pretty simple 3-step process. First, you just see your behavior as a clue. No judgment, just curiosity. Step 2, you trace that clue back to the mindset that's driving it. And step 3, you work on changing it at the root. You don't just try to force the behavior to stop, you change the thinking behind it. All right, so now it's your turn. The goal isn't just for you to listen to me talk about this, it's for you to actually apply it. You have the power to become the decoder of your own life, to finally understand the real story your actions are trying to tell you.
So I want you to really think about this for our first question. What's one feeling that people probably don't see behind your actions? Maybe it's feeling overwhelmed or insecure or just plain tired. If you feel up to it, drop it in the comments. There's real power in just naming it. And for our second question, let's go a little deeper. If you could really, truly understand the real message your behavior is sending, how would that change things for you? I mean, really, think about your relationships, your stress level, how you feel about yourself. Let us know what you think. And as always, we want to remember that all the material in this explainer was created by our fantastic partners over at the Educational Highway.
Let's end with this. The goal isn't to just grit your teeth and try to control every single action. That's exhausting. The true path of a champion is to understand it, because once you understand it, you can change it from the inside out.